Did you get to learn all your colors?
Hello, horror lover. Do you know what the primary colors are? Primary colors are colors that, if combined, will give rise to other colors, but that cannot be created by other color combinations that were not created by color combinations of the primary colors. That got a little confusing, right? Well, simply put, primary colors are the original colors and all others created from them are secondary. The primaries are blue, yellow and red, which are the originals. The secondary ones are green, violet and orange. Now that we know the primary colors, let's get to the real point of why you are here. Primary color man and unknown. One thing that even if you spend a lot of time trying to learn, all you get is vague information that you put together to try to put together a logical line of reasoning. We don't know what he is, where he came from or where he lives, but what people know about the man of primary colors is that, firstly, he is not human. Fact. Secondly, it is a sadistic and murderous thing, with an unimaginable thirst for blood. He is a humanoid being who, looking at the images, likes to stay in colorful places, which makes sense, given that he is a man of primary colors. And speaking of which, that on his body are the primary colors, but it's not the skin, but just clothes that he wears to try to hide his true face. Or not to hide it, but because he has a strong fixation on colors, especially basic ones, since that is his vulgarity, his true skin. Some images show that it is wrinkled, thin and has a black color, but at the same time a dark green, showing that it really is just a costume. But the reason he didn't want to take it off is still unknown. The fabric of this costume is also somewhat supernatural, as it fits perfectly with his skin. It looks like it was made just for him. Primary Color Man has many impressive abilities that make his hunt that much more frightening. One of them is his ability to manipulate his body, being able to create several bodies, distort his limbs, stretch them and even manipulate the shape of the colors of his own body, as seen in this image, where the costume changes shape according to his mode, but always with the primary colors. The original mode is what it normally uses, which is the 3 vertical lines of the primary colors. The wavy stripes mode are the primary colors, but in a horizontal and wavy way that spread across the costume. Shapes mode, as the name suggests, the colors take shape in various geometric shapes. Chaos mode, to be precise, is like fluid art, where the paint is poured on and becomes something totally abstract, but at the same time interesting to look at. Chaos mode is basically colors spread abstractly across the costume. In sharp mode, the colors take on pointed shapes and the color man's teeth become sharp. In spots and dots mode shows the suit with various colored circles scattered randomly across the suit. In the scribble zigzag mode, the lines are horizontal like in the wavy stripes mode, but here they are zigzagged, of course. In spiral mode, as we can see, the colors take the shape of a spiral, just like the color man's eyes. Besides, his mouth is in an unnatural position in relation to his eyes. But what is natural about this thing, right? It is believed that it enters this mode to hypnotize its prey. And then there's the last mode, the most distorted, macabre and dangerous of all, forgotten mode, where his costume and skin are torn away, showing only his spine and ribcage. His arms are also in fleshless bones and the main point is his face, which no longer has eyes but only a mouth that is open at least twice as wide as usual, and is in living flesh and stretched to the point that we can't see it. It seems to branch out like roots. I believe he stays in this form when someone manages to escape him and ends up forgetting about him. And in this form he completely loses consciousness and begins to act like a bestial animal, with the sole purpose of finding and annihilating his prey. But of course, it's just a hypothesis. But there's more to Primary Color Man than just shapeshifting. With one ability, he is apparently able to broadcast a kind of TV program that can alienate people, especially children, as their minds are even easier to manipulate. I believe that the program is shown on random channels at random times, and as soon as the broadcast is interrupted, the person forgets what they saw, but the effects still remain in the subconscious. But don't think that Primary Color Man can only manipulate through this program. He can also hypnotize people in person, as shown in this image, where the colors alternate while he makes that loud noise. Now for his goals. As for hypnotizing people, it's totally unknown. In fact, the reason for his existence is unknown. He's currently just a being who enjoys being sadistically murderous. But I don't believe that he kills his victims 100% of the time, because in this image he's kind of infecting this person from the inside out, because we can see something that looks like ink coming out of one of his eyes, and in that same eye there are colored veins spreading through it, which is very reminiscent of an infection. Primary Color Man's body is beyond the comprehension of physics. Not only can he change shape or hypnotize his victims, but he can also perform the famous knock-clipping. As shown in this image, not only is he creating more arms, but those same arms are crossing the ground and coming out in various places. And not only in this image, but also in this one. It can not only go through the floor or through both arms, but it can also go through walls and the whole body, which makes it even more dangerous. His body can be intangible, so he's invulnerable to physical attacks. Attacking basically doesn't work, and thanks to this ability to get through matter, Primer Colorman can also find the flaws in reality. And believe it if you want to go to other dimensions or realities, as said in this photo.
There are no worlds I'm stuck in.
This means he can travel anywhere through gaps in reality that he can create with knock-clipping. He has even traveled to the Backrooms, where he found the colors exorbitant, and I would even venture to say that he passed level fun. I don't know, but I think he would do well with the dangers. But fear not, because there are two beings who are apparently enemies of the primary Colorman. One of them is an ally of humans, the other is an enemy of anything colored, including the primary Colorman. The first, in fact, the secondary color woman. Remember what I said about secondary colors? So, the secondary color woman is a humanoid with feminine human traits. If she's the same as primary Colorman, then that's also just a costume. She is apparently an ally of humans, as in this image she is asking him to follow her before he sees her. And guess who she's talking about? She hides from the primary Colorman. And the humans she meets, she helps them hide too. But listen to what I say. If she hides from the primary Colorman, it's because she is less powerful than him. This is symbolized by the secondary colors she wears, but that doesn't stop her from helping other humans escape from the primary Colorman. We don't know her story, who she was or who she is, but she is a benevolent entity. We don't know why, but it is. The other entity is called monochromatic or monochromatic shell. It is not openly stated by Leovincible whether he is an enemy entity of the primary Colorman, whether he is an ally, or if he is the primary Colorman himself in another costume. But considering that he doesn't appear as one of primary Colorman's modes, then the possibility of him being one is ruled out. And considering that he is monochromatic, with shades of gray, that is, practically without any color, then we can say that he is a counterpart to the primary Colorman. Monochromatic's main ability is to steal the color of the things around him. Everything he touches becomes monochromatic with shades of gray, as the caption of this image says. Monochrome USC subtracts colors like a virus. This is not just because it makes colors disappear, but because the way it makes them disappear is like a virus spreading and stealing all the colors around. For example, he puts a kind of membrane on the floor, spreading across it and making all the colors disappear. This also happens with anything colorful he touches. That's why the most plausible option is that he is both an enemy of the primary Colorman and the secondary color woman, because they are both colored beings. And speaking of colorful,
Have you learned about your colors yet?